Hey guys, welcome to another tutorial. Today we're going to be drafting our corset pattern. So the first thing you want to do is to have your basic bodice pattern, and you see what I'm doing there. On the shoulder line, you want to divide the shoulder measurements into two, and then you connect that to the bust point. That's your bust line, just like I'm doing in the video. Connected. And once you're done with that, you want to know your bust radius, which is your bust point down to your under bust measurement. There I have 3.5. So you're going to take that measurement round, just like I'm doing in the video. Just keep going round and round and round and round. So once you're done going round, on your dot line, okay, you want to go out on both sides by 1/2 inch, just like you can see on that dot line, okay, not on the middle line or the dot line, the triangular line. And then you connect that down to the dot leg on both sides, just like you're seeing in this video. Please do exactly what you see. Once you're done doing that, you want to measure what you have on that line and then share it up there where you can see. Divide. Okay, so I had 1.5 inches, so I'm now distributing it evenly. I'm taking 1/2 inch inwards towards the neck side, and then I am taking 1 inch outwards towards the armhole measurements, just like you can see. So at the end of the day, when you join it together, that's 1.5 inches. So I've taken 1/2 in and 1/2 out. Do you understand? So on your bust line, you want to, I'm going up by 1 inch. You can decide to maintain the line or go up further or come down, but I'm going up by 1 inch and I am coming in by 1/2 inch. Okay, up 1 inch, in 1/2 inch. So now you want to connect these lines that I am showing you, those points that I am highlighting. You will connect all of it together. Just do again, like I said, do what's in the video. So you connect those lines together. So before you connect the final point, you go out on that line by 1/4 inch on both sides, and then you connect it down to the bust point. That's just for tightening on the top part, just to make it, let it sit well, okay? So you want to do that, and then you now go ahead and connect the third line on the other side, this particular line. Worry not if you cannot see it clearly. We're going to be using our marker now. So I'm going to highlight the most important parts with the marker. So anytime you see me come up with the marker, know that those are the lines you're going to be working with, you're going to cut. So I'm basically just highlighting all of that, just like now on your armhole line, that little box there, you want to know the full measurement and then divide it by 2. So on this pattern, I'd already taken my normal bust measurement, but we're going to be taking that again. So what you got there, what you get there, you're going to divide it by 2. I got 2, so I'm dividing that by 2, giving me 1 inch, and then you go down by 1/2 inch. Okay, divide by 2, go down by 1/2 inch, then connect that line outwards. Then next thing you want to do now is to connect these points that I am highlighting. The marker just makes it look so beautiful. See how it's already sitting out beautifully. Oh my god. So the next thing you want to do now, you see that line, connect it together. Remember, we're going to be drafting a yoke as well, so you don't want to ruin that top part because that's going to be our yoke. So now you want to take your full measurement, your bust measurement divided by 4, then you take out, measure what is taken out there, okay, and then you replace it. Then you add your seam allowance. I'm working with 1.5 inches, so you add your seam allowance at the edge. And then on this top part, right, I've measured the full measurement down to whether just the way you're seeing it. I've measured everything there, but I'm going to extend that line by 1 inch, okay, so that at the end of the day, when I'm done joining everything, it will just sit right. So I'm adding 1 inch up there, and then I'm connecting it back to the armhole, just like you're seeing in the video. 1 inch out, connecting it back to the armhole measurements. Once you're done with the bust measurements, you come down to the under bust measurement. I'm sure you've measured your under bust, so that measurement you got, you're going to impute it here, so you get your full under bust measurement divided by 2. Then the dart, you know how many inches you took out for your dart, replace it, and then you add your seam allowance for that side. And then on the waistline, you do the same thing. Take your waist measurement, then know how many inches you took out for the dart, replace it, and then you add your normal seam allowance. That line, the last line beneath there, because it's going to be a basque waistline, I have extended that line by 3 inches. So this is 3 inches below your waist measurement. That's the last line. The one beneath is what I'm talking about right now. So you're just connecting everything, basically. That was on the side. You're connecting everything, and now I want to go ahead and you want to measure it. You want to label your parts so that when you cut it out, you will not be confused. CF center front, SF side front, so the 2 cups 1 and 2. See that line I was talking about is where I am going to be doing the basque waistline effect, but I am not going to cut it out now. I'm going to do that when I am done joining the fabric. You'll see, I'll show you that. So now you just want to go ahead and cut. I'm sure you'll be wondering where the dart came from. So I just extended the dart on the waistline down to the extension. I said that extension where I wrote the basque is 3 inches. So you extend your dart leg down to that point, and then cut it the way you see me cutting. Please remember, we're going to be needing that yoke, so you don't want to damage it. Be careful while you're cutting it out. So this is the front yoke. We're going to be, you can just, anything you want to use for the top part, tulle, lace, whatever it is. So you cut this hole out carefully, please. I would like to emphasize on that, because any small cuts like this maybe if you have a tape, you can fix it. So yes, you're cutting out and separating everything. So that's the center front, both cups, and then the side front. Now let's move to the back. So you have your back pattern drafted already, and then I'm going to be maintaining the chest line. That's 8 inches. So we're not going to be using a zipper for this dress, and by that you'll now need to take out from the back, and I am going out by 2.25 inches on the top part and 1.25 inches at the bottom part, so that when you lace your corset and you drag it to snatch you can go out more or less, but this is what I am doing right now. And for the back, remember, there is no extension under. Your waistline is your waistline, so you're maintaining your waistline on the back. Okay, so like I said, 2.25 inches and 1.25 inches. So at this point, I'm just trying to determine how I want my back neckline to be, and Like I said, I'm sticking with the chest line, so I'm not going lower than that, and I'm not coming higher. So it's going to have a yoke as well. I'm going to be using a tulle net for this, skin net for this. So now you want to extend your dart leg, and you go ahead and cut it out. The back is pretty simple compared to the front. It's just straightforward. Going forward at this point now, remember what we did in front, where we came out, we divided that part into two, and then we came down by half an inch. You would like to do the same thing for the front. You can decide to do that or not, but I'm doing that. So yeah, so I'm coming down from the armhole measurement by half an inch, and just reconnecting everything and cutting this out for the sake of the yoke. Again, you want to label your parts. If you're going to be cutting it out, you need to. So SB side back, CB center back. So I'm going to be taping this down because I don't want to work with a dart. I'm closing my dart basically. So I'm cutting one piece for the back. I'm not cutting the side back separate and the center back separate. I'll plead that you guys forgive me on how rough my pattern is looking. I had to work with what I had. And it was at this point I realized that my sellotape had finished. This is me looking for what to use to tape that down. But yeah, I eventually found something, and we're going to work with what we have, just like I said. So I have taped, or I am taping that down right now. And voila, there you have it. So now this is your front pattern and your back pattern. You want to go ahead and cut it on your fabric, and I'll see you in the sewing and stitching and the part 2 of this video. Thank you for watching, and please don't forget to like, share, subscribe. I'll really appreciate that. Bye.